Welcome back. Here we're going to be looking at the expanding circle. We're going to go deeper to better understand the motivations for why someone would want to or not want to pursue sustainability. And we're going to begin by looking at the idea of the expansion of the tribe, and we're going to use the diagrams or ideas of the book from Peter Singer called The Expanding Circle, and I find it to be a very effective way to think about sustainability in a broader way. So obviously, we as human beings are hardwired for self-interest or for survival. This is quite clear. We know that we want to eat, we want to live, we want to drink, we have to survive. And this drives a lot of our basic behaviors and motivations. However, we also know, then we also learn over time that we have a better chance of survival if we begin to join forces with other people. This has been shown throughout history. There's nothing real great, there is no great resolution here or realization here, but it's pretty obvious. So, and of course, biology tends to work in a certain way, and your units begin to grow, you begin to have families, and you have larger circles of self-interest. So if I'm a father or a mother or a parent, I now have expanded my circle of interest to include my children. And as you all know, as that goes through time, we begin to see larger groups of families joining to create what might be called a tribe or a village. So now my circle of interest has expanded to I care about everybody and everything inside that village, and you better not mess with us. Pretty obvious, right? Of course, we know throughout history these villages and tribes eventually interact with each other in a positive or negative way. And over years, decades, centuries, eventually those large circles of interest actually get larger and can be replaced with, well, in this case, a very large ellipse. Sorry for my lack of geometry, but I think you're getting the point here. Now it's a group of villages that have joined together for common interest, and our circle of self-interest has grown. Now, just to jump ahead a little bit and to kind of keep this thing moving, let's go to the scale of the entire planet, which is really where we're at now. We're really able to understand the Earth as a series of large tribes that are beginning to connect, or nations at this point. And so here we are scattered around the world with our own different interests, and we're starting to learn more and more about each other every day through trade, books, pictures, movies, etc. And of course, social media now is connecting us in ways that we had never thought possible before. And so what we're seeing here is a globalized society, but we know that's there. But what does that mean for sustainability? Well, it's possible that our circle of self-interest is beginning to expand again to larger areas such as a continent or continents. And these are random, by the way, but the idea here is that now nations are joining together, and there's lots of examples where multiple nations have joined together for common interest. And the relevance of this for sustainability is actually pretty critical, because now we can better relate to people suffering from climate change all over the world. So in the old days, I could have a set of behaviors in the US that has all kinds of negative implications to people in faraway lands. So for example, sea level rise is affecting some in parts of the world more than in other parts of the world. So we're beginning to try to change our behaviors, not just for ourselves and for our small circle of self-interest, but actually for the betterment of the global circle of self-interest. And so this really can be explained by a very simple concept called Enlightened SelfInterest. And this is the term that you'll hear a lot with sustainability and the motivations for sustainability. And I think it's important to understand that yes, we do have a need to survive, and we understand that the more we work together in a more enlightened way, we have a better chance of survival over the long term, which really leads us all the way back to what Adam Smith probably really intended, was not the self-interest where we're just seeking out profit and ruining our planet and treating each other poorly, but really an enlightened sense of self-interest that will allow the community itself to flourish over the long term. This is a strong basis for sustainability, there's no doubt about it, but I think in the next segment, we're going to even dig deeper and try to find other motivations that can align and even multiply enlightened self-interest to move to the full-blown idea of sustainability that we're all so excited about. So this ends our segment on the expanding circle, and next we're going to look at something called altruism. Look forward to seeing you back at the next video.